Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to not only Throwback Thursday, but welcome back to the final episode of the series, the Legends or the Fantasy Draft series here on Madden 19. This is most likely going to be the final episode because if you watched last Thursday's episode, you know that the season didn't start out the way that I was anticipating. It never really does. And we started out slow again, so I'm just assuming that we're not going to make the playoffs again this year. And this is probably going to be the final episode. So that kind of sucks. But not only is it Throwback Thursday, it's Thanksgiving today. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone watching this video. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving with your friends and family. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, obviously. And I hope you eat a lot of turkey, stuff yourself with food, and then watch a lot of football games because that's what I did today. So I hope you guys do the same. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I should have already posted my Thanksgiving specific video earlier today for you guys to watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And happy Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful time to reflect with your family, realize all the wonderful things you have in your life and the people that you have surrounding you. So just remember that. Just it's not the food, it's not the football, it's the people you have in your life is what you're thankful for. So just remember that as we get into the holiday months. So with all that being said, it is time to start the final episode of this series next Thursday on I think it's December 1st actually. It's either December 1st or December 2nd, next Thursday. We will start a new series, and I'm super excited about that, so I hope you guys are too. If you guys go on to enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get into what could be the final episode of this series. Okay, so we start this episode, what could be the final episode. We start in week number 10. We are going to jump in and play the moments against the Bills like we usually do. We jump in and we play the moments against the first game of the episode, then we start simulating the rest. But in this episode, since I'm pretty sure it's going to be the end, since, what are we, 3-5? Yeah, 3-5. We're probably not going to do much better than that. We are going to take a look back throughout like the career stats of the save and stuff, and we'll take a little reminiscing. It's not as in-depth as it would be on the newer Maddens because they didn't add like the season recap thing until like Madden 21 or something, or 22. So it won't be as in-depth as that because you can't go back and see like patch champions and stuff. So that kind of sucks, but we can see career stats for guys because Josh Allen was a rookie this season, so we can see his entire career up to this point in the career stats. And same for a lot of guys. Maybe not some of the older guys like Antonio Brown, Mike Williams, Christian McCaffrey. We can't see all those guys' full stats, but some of our rookies we can see. You guys understand the thing. You guys understand it. But let's take a look at the play. I guess it doesn't really matter if we take a look at the college players or not because we're not going to be able to draft any of them, even though we're probably going to have a good pick. And this is probably going to be the class where there's like super, super good players. The one class that I'm not going to be drafting in is going to have like the best players in the entire series. That's totally, excuse me, that is totally my luck is to have. And it looks like there's some pretty good quarterbacks in the class. There looks like to be a couple really solid pass rushers. So there's going to be some good players. We're just not going to ever know how good they actually are. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this game. 3-5 Chargers on the road at Buffalo to play the 6-2 Bills. This is not going to go good, but maybe we can sneak out a victory. Who knows? I'll see you guys in the game.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it.
Time to see if the game...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump in here, play in the moments against the Buffalo Bills. You know it's not going to go well because it's me on the controller. So when I'm on the sticks in Madden, no matter what version it is, it's never going to go well. So let's see if maybe I can force that to George Kittle. Yes, I can, and he holds on. Big time catch from George Kittle. That hurts my heart seeing the Patriots down there on the bottom ticker. They're 1-6 right now. That hurts my heart to see them be 1-6. 30th career rushing touchdown for, wow. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I don't know what that was. That was a bad throw from Josh Allen. I just pressed the button. It's not like I led the ball in any weird direction or something. I just pressed circle like a normal person would, and he just sailed it to the linebacker. I was gonna say it's 3-3, but now it's 10-3. But we score a touchdown. Okay, we're competing with Buffalo. That's a good sign, at least. They get a field goal. We got a 2-minute drill before the half, and there's a field goal again. We got the ball again. I don't know how we did that, but we got a touchdown out of it. So it's awesome. That's super cool. Let's see if we can take advantage of this and score a touchdown here. AB, Kittle, probably the only two options here. Maybe just Kittle. Kittle back of the end zone. Yes, sir. George Kittle touchdown. Josh Allen, good throw. And we take a 2-possession lead over the Buffalo Bills on the road in, I think didn't it used to be called Orchard Park? I think now it's called like New Era Field or something. Whatever. That's irrelevant. But we are about to put up another touchdown on the board. Okay. We are wiping the floor with the Bills, but they are fighting back. They are fighting back, and they have a 34-27. We have a 34-27 lead over the Bills with 35 seconds on 4th down and 10. This is the final chance that these Bills have to be able to keep in this game, and I don't think they will. Oh, they will. It's a first down. It's a completion, but they have no more timeouts, and we kept them in bounds. They're going to have to run no huddle, and they couldn't get her done. The Chargers are going to win their 4th game of the season. Hey, we don't usually start episodes with a victory. That's a rare sight in this series. Lamar Jackson was the quarterback of the Bills. I didn't realize. I thought it was just like a auto-drafted player. Or an auto-generated player. 27 of 40, 4 touchdowns, 385 yards, and an interception for Josh Allen. Really good day for him. Rushing the ball, 19 carries, 67 yards, no touchdowns. He'll have to wait on his 30th career rushing touchdown. McCaffrey will. 8 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown for Antonio Brown. That is an insane stat line for him. Good for him. Defensively, 12 tackles for both Terrell Edmunds and Curry Cadigan. We sacked Lamar Jackson a bunch. Von Miller got 2.5. Randy Gregory got 1. Cadigan got 1. And Jonathan Allen got the other half of Von Miller's. And then Ryan Shazier also got an interception. So we pummeled Lamar Jackson, and still they were fighting back in that final couple of minutes to get back in this game. So that's crazy to think about. But we get a big victory. Let's see if we can continue that momentum in the simulation. Okay, so we are playing the Seahawks, who are 3-6. This could be a chance for us to rally, get 2 straight dubs. I love to see 2 straight dubs. Can it happen? Can this team do it? Yes, we can. 24-13. We're taking on the 5-5 Rams. The battle for Los Angeles here. It's not really a road game for anybody. Let's see if we can get. We're both even. We're both 5-5 at this point. Can we get her done? 3 straight dubs? 3 straight dubs, 24-17 over the Rams. Now we're taking on the Steelers. Curry Cadigan gets an upgrade point. He's going to be an 81 overall now. So that's awesome. We are 6-5. I may have been wrong. I mean, if we continue on this win streak, we could be a wild card team. We're playing the 6-5 Steelers now. Next Thursday might be the playoffs. Next Thursday might be the playoffs. Let's see what happens here. Are we going to get 4 straight W's? We are! 24-17 over the Steelers. We are 7-5 right now, ladies and gentlemen. What has gotten into us? Treshaun Lancaster gets an upgrade point. He's now an 83 overall. Wow. I don't know what is gotten into us. We're taking on the 8-4 Texans in week 14. Could it be 5 straight? I don't think it could happen, can it? 5 straight W's? 5 straight W's? Okay, why are we finishing every game 24-17? That's like the 3rd straight week. It's been 24-17, but this time we do lose. Texans must be a really good team. I mean, they were 8-4. So that kind of halters our momentum. There's 3 games left in the season, and we are 7-6. The Chiefs are having a really good year too. So let's go to the AFC playoff picture. We are currently 7-6, so we are right outside the playoffs. This is close. The Titans are on a 9-game win streak, by the way. This is an interesting end of the season. We're taking on the 5-7-1 Arizona Cardinals at home. Can we get back in the W column right here with a victory? No, it's another loss. All right, so that's probably us out of the postseason. I mean, they gave us a little bit of hope. Sadiq Stevens, Elgin Waller both get upgrade points. They gave us a little bit of hope. They teased it for us. They like threw it out there on a carrot. They teased us with 5 or 4 straight victories to start the episode, but then they just pulled it back away. They yanked it. They yanked it away. No playoffs to end the series. We do beat the Raiders, by the way. So now we play the Broncos, another divisional game. Josh Allen gets an upgrade point. He's now an 81 overall. It's kind of sad to see Josh Allen not developing the way that he did in real life. Let's see what would have happened if we would have beaten the Cardinals. Would we have been in the playoffs? It's tough to really see. The NFC is wide open, by the way. Nobody's clinched besides the Giants. In the AFC, a lot of people have clinched. The Titans have clinched. The Bills have clinched. The Titans clinched the division. Browns clinch. Dolphins are right there. I mean, we're right there. We're not going to make it, but we're right there. We'd have to hope that... let's see, because the AFC South has been clinched. The AFC East has not been clinched. The West has been clinched. The North has been clinched. So you've got the AFC East is the only division that has not been clinched yet. The North, the South, and the West have all been clinched. So, but the Bills, if they win, they will clinch it. So then that leaves, what, 2 wildcard teams? And the Dolphins are probably going to get in. So we're not going to get in. We'd have to hope that the Jaguars lose, the Jets lose, and the Texans. Actually, not even, because if we're 9-7, they're 9-7. I guess it's possible that we could sneak in. It's not very likely. It's a very low percentage chance. And that means we have to beat the Broncos anyway. So it's not like it's a guarantee for us. We have to win this game against the Broncos, who are 5-10. So let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it. Can we end this season and the series with a W? We will end with a W, but as you can see, there's no game for us to play. We did not make the postseason. No playoff football in the final year, but this is our best season as a team in the save, which makes me think that if we improve on this team going into next season, we probably could be pretty good next year. But we can't think about that because we're moving on to a new series. We're moving on to a new series. We can't think about that. But how did the AFC picture finish up? The Texans won. Yeah. See, so the Jets also won. The Jaguars lost, actually. So we actually tied with the Jaguars. So if the Jets would have lost and the Texans would have lost, I guess it was possible we could have won and got into the playoffs. But it was never very likely that we were going to do it. We would have had to probably win the division. And we just couldn't beat the Chiefs. But that is the end of the final season. This is what the roster will end up looking like. The offensive line still could use some work. It's going to be sad to not see any of these guys really develop at all. We've kind of invested a lot in these guys, especially like Hobbs and stuff. So the offensive line maybe could get a little bit better. Josh Allen, it's nice to see actually with some development. He hasn't developed this entire series, really. I think he started, like a 79 or 78 or something. He has not developed much at all. Antonio Brown, we've seen the steady decline of him. He was a 99 when we drafted him in the fantasy draft. And he was a 99 for a couple seasons. Now he's a 91 or a 90. But the boost is giving him up one. Elgin Waller was super fast. Didn't really get to see a whole lot of him because he was kind of buried down the depth chart. But 96 speed, 95 excel is amazing. 92 agility also. Tyler Higbee, George Kittle, pretty good tight end pickups. On defense was where most of our auto-generated rookies stepped up. Obviously, we've got Andre Montgomery. We've got Brommel, who we took in as like the second pick overall, I think, out of Georgia. He ends up being a really good player. He's going to probably turn into a pretty like beastly defensive tackle if we keep simulating. Then obviously Sadiq Stevens, who was here since the beginning, I'm pretty sure. Pretty close to the beginning. He might have been part of the first draft class, but he looks like he's going to be a really, really good player. Trayshawn Lancaster is a solid player as well. He's got 90 speed, 80 zone coverage, 80 tackle. One of the better safety prospects I've ever drafted in Madden. So he looks pretty good. He's going to turn into a really good player if he keeps developing. Obviously, Curry Cadigan's been here since the beginning. He was part of the first draft class. That means Sadiq Stevens was part of the draft class the next year. He was part of the first season. He was part of the first draft class, and he looks amazing. He was a stud. Then we got Clay Brooks, who didn't really get to shine too much because we had another player playing in front of him. But this season, it seems like he played pretty well, and he developed into a really good player. I did miss one player, Curry Daniel, who we drafted a few years ago out of Michigan State, 78 overall. We gave him the keys to the car, but he didn't really drive it very well, so we gave the keys back to Josh Allen. But Curry Daniel looks like he's a pretty solid player. He doesn't do any one thing bad, but he doesn't also do any one thing really, really well. Like he can move pretty well. He's got 87 speed and 89 throw power, but everything's pretty just mid, I guess. He's just a mid player, for lack of a better term. He's just a very mid player. But if we take a look at the stats, we'll take a look for the stats for the final season, and then we'll take a look at the stats overall in the career stats. So Josh Allen this year, 3,700 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Very good season for him. One of his best seasons, probably his best season of the save. Then we go to rushing. We got 648 yards and 2 touchdowns for Christian McCaffrey. I think the playbook we went to kind of went away from the run game a little bit because, yeah, Antonio Brown had 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. Really good season from him. He's always going to be a stud in these old games. So no surprise there. George Kittle had a good year. Mike Williams had a good year. Even Cortland Sutton had a good year. So everybody was getting fed. Then on the defensive side of things, 117 tackles for Ryan Shazier. Ryan Shazier is one of those guys that in simulation will always get you 100-plus tackles. He's just a beast. Curry Cadigan also broke the century mark with 100 tackles. 7 sacks for him as well. That's pretty awesome out of the linebacker spot. 17 for Von Miller. What a beast he was. Andre Montgomery, 6.5. Randy Gregory, 5.5. Brommel only had 2, but he's not a pass rusher. He's more of a run stuffer for Brommel. Interception leaders, we had Ryan Shazier with 3. He always finds a way to get like 2-3 interceptions a season. I don't know why. Just because he patrols that middle of the line or middle of the field. Trayshawn Lancaster had 2. Quandre Diggs had 2. Very good year for the boys. Very, very good year for the boys. NFL Awards MVP is Russell Wilson. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Le'Veon Bell. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Rookie of the Year, Antoine Parsons and Daniel Hines. In the NFC, it is Bruce McGloin and, that's a funny name, Elliot Huber. And then DPOY is Dante Hightower. Russell Wilson's Offensive Player of the Year. So we know the drill for those guys. Russell Wilson must have had a really good year. But let's take a look at the career stats for the boys. So Josh Allen, we've done 5 seasons. I'm pretty sure. Right? Or has it been 4 seasons? I'm pretty sure Josh was a rookie, right? Let me take a look at the player card. Let me take a look at his stats and his contract. I'm pretty sure Josh was a rookie with the year that we started this. 2018, is that the year that we started? I mean, this is Madden 19, so the year would be 2018. Yeah, so we've done everything that we needed to. Or is these got to be real life numbers. 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and then he drops down to 2,000 yards. Yeah. Is this real? I don't know. this is probably all in our thing. This is probably all in the thing. I can't remember if Josh Allen was a rookie or not. I'm assuming he was, but I can't remember. I mean, you know how my brain is. But these numbers look really, really good throughout his career. Obviously, these are the 2 seasons where he was benched for Curry Daniel. So that's why those numbers look a little bit worse for wear. And then, obviously, this past season, he got the full year start. So that's awesome. Rushing, he didn't really get a lot of rushing yards. So for his career, 14,001 yards through the air, 98 touchdowns, 45 interceptions. So he was just so close to getting to 100 touchdowns in his career. Curry Daniel in his 3 seasons, 4,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. I'd like to see those interception numbers go down a little bit if he were to progress in his career. As far as the rushing, Christian McCaffrey, 5,000 yards, 31 touchdowns. Eckler, 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns. We didn't draft a running back, so we don't have to care about that. Receiving, Antonio Brown, 13-9, 92 touchdowns. Josh Gordon didn't really play much for us. Kittle had a good career. Where is Elgin Waller? So in Elgin Waller's 4-year career, he had 53 catches, 678 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Like, what did I say? He didn't really get to shine too much. I tried to put him in there, but then we brought in Cortland Sutton. We brought in all these kind of guys. So he kind of got pushed down the depth chart a little bit. Blocking-wise, in the careers of some of our most notable draft picks, Spencer Hobbs, part of that first draft class, he allowed 43 sacks in his career in 64 games played. We had Carter Leno allowed 22 in his career. Wes Cozier, Cozier? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you have 6 sacks in your career, which is amazing at center. Franklin Bacon, best name ever. One of the best names ever. 6 sacks in his 48 games played. Grant Webb, 5 sacks in 16 games. Then we go to the defense. Ryan Shazier, what can you say? 10-10, baby. 1,010 tackles in his career so far. 35 tackles for loss, 25.5 sacks, and 15 interceptions. Von Miller had 153.5 sacks in this career. Well, in his career, plus the stuff that we added onto it. Malcolm Butler had 14 career interceptions. Quandre Diggs had 10. Big John Hankins had 30 career sacks. Let's get to some of the big boys. Where's some of our draft picks? So, Curry Cadigan, 294 career tackles, 20 for loss, 11 sacks, 3 interceptions. That's pretty good. Andre Montgomery in his 2 years, 67 tackles, 14 for loss, 9 sacks, no interceptions. And Brommel had 53 tackles, 14 for loss, 7 sacks. He's gonna have a really good career. We find Trayshawn Lancaster, 166 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 5 interceptions in his career. Gordon Freeman, 40 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 interception. Sadiq Stevens, he was hurt for most of his career, actually. So he only had 39 tackles and a sack. There's Clay Brooks. He had 98 tackles and nothing else. All right, how many touchdowns did everybody get? That's the safety count. How many touchdowns did everybody get? We had 2 touchdowns for Von Miller, 1 for Malcolm Butler. That's it. That is it for, defensive plays for the boys. And then kicking, Jake Elliott doesn't really matter because we didn't really kick too much with him. Kick returns, Antonio Brown had a lot of yards. Elgin Waller had a lot of yards, but no touchdown returns. Punt returns, Brown had 4 return touchdowns. And then we're back to Josh Allen. So that is the career stats of the boys. Let's find out who is going to win the Super Bowl. We are going to sim right to the Super Bowl. We don't have to wait too much for it. We're going to sim right to the Super Bowl and see who's going to win it, and then we'll wrap up this final episode of the series. We drafted a lot of good players. Now, Curry Daniel didn't really develop into the quarterback I thought he was going to turn into. The defense is what I was most proud with in terms of the drafting. I mean, Brommel and Montgomery and Lancaster and Clay Brooks, Cadigan, all those guys, Sadiq Stevens, all those guys played unbelievably well. So, I'm happy. This is one of the best overall series in terms of how I drafted players. I know they didn't all turn out to be like superstars, but I think that given a few more seasons of simulation and a few more years of development as the Buccaneers beat the Titans in the Super Bowl, I feel like those guys, especially on the defensive side of things, like Brommel and Stevens and Cadigan, I feel like all those guys could turn into like absolute studs on this defense. So if we were to simulate like 5 more years into the future, I bet that those guys would lead us to a really good defense. We'd have a really good defense. Plus, Josh Allen would get a few more seasons to develop. Antonio Brown would probably start to decline. Christian McCaffrey would probably start to decline. We'd probably lose Von Miller to retirement, I would guess, because we are in 2022 in this version of history. So I'm very proud of this series. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Obviously, we failed the series technically because we didn't win a Super Bowl. We didn't rebuild the team to win a Super Bowl in the seasons we were given. So it is a little bit of a technical failure. But overall, I feel like the team we drafted, the offensive line is one thing I wish I would have done a little bit better on. If I had to go back, I probably would focus a little bit more on the offensive line. We did not develop the offensive line that great. Spencer Howes is one of my, I think he was like a first-round pick. He did not turn out to be anything great. Everybody else really didn't get much time to develop at all. And then on the defensive side of things, like I said, if we just give this defense a little bit more time to develop, a few more seasons of play and more development time, Cadigan probably surpasses Ryan Shazier in overall. Stevens probably starts over Von Miller at some point. Lancaster and Claybrooks probably start to develop even more. Brommel maybe jumps in the 90s. Like, who knows? Montgomery probably develops. This team, given a few more seasons, probably could be pretty good. But unfortunately, we've got a new chapter in the Throwback Thursday edition next Thursday. I think it's December 1st. If I look, yeah, the calendar says that next Thursday is December 1st. I thought so, but I couldn't remember exactly if December 1st was on a Thursday, on a Wednesday, on a Friday. Like, you never really know sometimes. So it is going to be on a December 1st is going to be on a Thursday. So make sure you look out. New series alert for next Thursday, Throwback Thursday edition. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm really excited about this one because I've never done like an actual franchise on this version of Madden. It's going to be obviously it's going to be a Madden game. Maybe one time I'll throw in a non-Madden Throwback Thursday game. I don't know. Maybe. But this new series coming up is going to be an older Madden. We're going way back in the time machine. So I've never actually done a full series, like gotten into the off season, gotten into like the real bread and butter of this version of Madden, unless I did it when I was like super young, but I can't remember. So this will be a nice experiment and a nice little like trip down memory lane for me and for everybody else. So hope you guys did enjoy that video and that series. That'll be starting next Thursday, December 1st. So I hope you guys are ready for that. Thank you guys so much for showing your support on all of my videos, especially these ones, because a lot of people don't really like going back and seeing the more recent Maddens that are still older but not super old, like what's going to be next week. So this one was fun. It was a little bit fun. It would have been more fun if I didn't have the controller that's like a janky one, because it's not like official PlayStation controller. It's just like a knockoff brand or whatever. So it would have been better if I had a better controller than that. That's why if you notice I was like leaning this way a little bit more, and I was like, my head was facing this way but my body was this way. It's because I got my it's plugged in to the controller into the PlayStation, and it's not a very long cord, so I had to stay kind of angled here so I wasn't pulling the cord out. So that's why I was doing that. If you ever noticed that, that's been doing that for probably an entire series, really. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Next Thursday is going to be the start of a new one. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. That's a wrap on this series, but next Thursday we got a new one, so I hope you guys are ready for that. See you guys in the next one. Peace.